Hi and welcome to the second part of my Standards Check diary. Now I made the first video in this series 2 days ago and I just wanted to correct something that I found out wasn't actually true since I made that video. In that first video I mentioned about how easy it is to change the time of your Standards Check, but what I'm going to say now is it's not easy at all. Now they sent me my letter saying that it was going to be at 8:45 in the morning, and I don't normally start that early. And I'm not really a morning person, so I wanted to move it to later. Now when I've done check tests in the past, I've always just phoned up and have said, oh no problem, we'll move it. Well, I sent them an email the other day, just asking, can I do it later in the day, and they said unfortunately we can't do that, so please can you confirm that you can do that time. So I replied with, haven't you got anything any sooner, because I said, look, I'm ready to take it. I might as well just do it next week or next month or whenever. And they said that's not possible. Please can you confirm the time we've given you? And I found out it's a really rigid system. They allocate you a time and a date, and that's it. Doesn't matter what happens, unless you've got a pre-booked holiday or there's something really bad like a disaster in the family or whatever, you can't cancel it. And if you do cancel it because the people doesn't turn up, they actually ask you for proof. They'll get the people's name and number and address, and they will write to them and phone them and check that they did cancel the lesson. If the people says they didn't, well, that could land you in big trouble. So hopefully you get an honest people. But I'll go over that in another video. There'll be one on the site about that. I'm going to talk about what happens if they cancel. But yeah, so it's a really rigid system. Now they have been saying for the last 4 years that they're going to make it so that they simply send you a letter saying you've got to do a standards check, and then you can go on and book one at a time and date of your own choosing. And I think that'll be a much better system rather than just saying you're doing it this time and this day. I can understand why they do it, because every instructor will be moving tests around and it'll be chaos, I can't do that time, I can't do that time. But I've been thinking about it, and it doesn't really matter that I'm doing it that early in the morning. I've got lots of pupils available, so that's not a problem. I actually thought about this after I emailed them saying I didn't want to do that time. It's August, because I was worried there was going to be loads of traffic and I might be late on the way there, because Birmingham's really bad for traffic. But it's August when I've got mine, so there won't be any traffic because it's the school holidays. So it's ideal. It also means that because it's the summer, all of my pupils are off uni and college and whatever, so they can all do any time, any day, so I can pick from any of them, which is great. I also realised after I made this video that the people I've been filming all my lessons with, you've probably already watched on my site, that people's driving test is actually 3 days after my standards check. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking that people along for my standards check. Wouldn't that be nice to not only filmed a series of videos with her, but also to take her along for a standards check and give her like a preview of what it's like to have an examiner in the car 3 days before her driving test. So yeah, I might do that. I'm not certain yet, it's still 2 months away. It's just, I think it's 8 weeks, I worked out 8 weeks to my standards check. I think I mentioned last time as well, I am really busy at the moment. I've just bought my first home, I've gone through the mortgage, the conveyancing. If ever you've done that, you know how long a process that is. It's also the Euros are on at the moment, and this is the morning. This is June the 11th in 2016 I'm filming this. So tonight England are going to play Russia, and everyone's got all the flags out, whatever. So yeah, it's the Euros are on. I'm moving house. I've got loads going on. My income tax bill's due next month because it's the end of July, so I've got quite a bit going on without actually doing a standards check any sooner than it already is. So I think I'll leave it as it is. I didn't mention before, but it's currently on the 2nd of August 2016, and it's currently now the 11th of June. So they are very accurate with these dates. My last one was the 7th of August 2012. Now it's the 2nd of August 2016. So it's pretty much dead on, 4 years to the day almost. And it should be, it's supposed to be 4 years if you get a grade A, and 2 years if you get a grade B. Although I have to say it doesn't seem to be true. That it seems to be 4 years no matter what you get. But that's the way it's supposed to work. So yeah, I don't know what topic I'm doing yet. I'm thinking because the pupils are going to be fully trained, it will be tested only 3 days after mine. That might be quite good, because in the past I've always done quite new learners, doing things like moving off and roundabouts for the first time. It can be quite nice to take people who's fully trained. I'm thinking about doing some fully trained topics. I'm thinking about doing the lesson based upon skills you need to pass the driving test that aren't taught for the driving test. So we could do things like maybe, not so much bay parking, because I do say try and avoid manoeuvres, but why not go and try 1 or 2 bits of bay parking in a supermarket car park? Why not go and drive through a ford with the people, go through a ford in like a river going over the road? Why not turn them into a multi-storey car park, something like that? You can do that, it's all fine, there's no limit on what you can do. So I'm thinking about doing that. Maybe I won't even tell that people I don't know, she might not even want to do it, but I haven't asked her yet. But as soon as she's used to being filmed and used to being watched, I think it'd be a quite nice way of ending the series, of showing me doing my standards check and her doing her test. I don't know if you're allowed to film a standards check, I'm pretty sure you can't, but I know you are allowed to film a driving test so long as there's no audio. And I think you're not allowed to film the inside of the car, so I think it'll be pretty boring watching the standards check with no audio and only watching the front of the car. So wouldn't be much point, you wouldn't be able to tell what we're doing in the car. So anyway, I might not do another video for about another month, because I'm not going to think about it much. I've got so much going on with moving house and doing the videos I'll do anyway, and the fact I've already trained for my standards check over a year ago, and I did some 2 months ago before I knew, because I knew this was going to come up probably. I've already done my training. But yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that they're quite rigid in the way they won't let you move the test, which is a bit disappointing, because if the examiner's got cancellations, they won't let you book in. They say if someone cancels, they don't book another instructor instead, which I find a bit unusual. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go home now. Probably see you next in a few weeks, maybe when I've moved home. I'm planning on filming most of these videos in my new home, so it'll be easier than having to come out and find a quiet road to park on, because even when I film these, people keep coming up to the car and tapping on the window asking about lessons and whatever. So anyway, before anyone starts asking me about lessons, I'll leave the video there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in my next episode.